President Trump saying he's open to a path to citizenship for Dreamers. The president suggesting people whose parents brought them into the country illegally as children might be able to, quote, morph into citizens over a 10 to 12-year period. With me now, Wall Street Journal columnist Kimberly Strassel. You've been covering this for about as long as I've been aware of this issue, and it feels like the American people are just ready to get it done. President Trump is going to lay out on Monday a legislative framework, as he calls it. What do you think about that? Do you think it's better for the president to lay it out and push it to Congress, or for Congress to push something to him?
Right now, I think there's an excellent opportunity for the president to lead on this, because here's the problem with immigration debate, and you know this, Dana, we've watched this dynamic for years, is that it tends to be driven by the extremes on either party. On the left, it's by people who'd rather have this issue during a midterm election than get it solved. On the right, it's by people who really don't want an immigration deal whatsoever. So the best thing the president can do here is go out there, lay out some straightforward, not over-the-top demands that he has in return for, at very least, making these Dreamers legal, and then dare those sides to in any way disrupt it.
The president had said a couple of weeks ago when he had that bipartisan meeting that went so well in the cabinet room that he was willing to take the heat. And I think what he was saying is that he meant heat from the right. We've seen this happen before in 2006 and 2007 with President George W. Bush. You get it right up to the line, and then they can't get it done because the right said, absolutely not, we're not going to be able to do this. Do you think things have changed enough now that the president would be able to withstand that heat and finally, just get this done?
He needs to take the heat, and by the way, it's just a win-win for him and for the Republican Party.
Yep.
If he were to do this, he goes and stands up there, he says, look, everyone in this country, 60 to 70% or even higher numbers of Americans want to see these Dreamers made legal. These are very sympathetic, for the most part, category of individuals brought here by their parents, no say, no ties to the countries from which they came.
Right.
So to say, look, we all agree with this. It needs to happen. Here's a few modest but important changes that need to be made along the way. And, you know, if you don't want this, then you are the people standing in the way of greater border security and in the way of helping out these young citizens.
Well, and all of this was really yeah, right. This was all really underscored when the Democrats basically took the blame for shutting down the government. Listen to Tim Ryan, the congressman who challenged Nancy Pelosi about a year ago. He didn't win that, but he's still on the fight. Listen.
I think it definitely hurt us. There's no question about it. I think we went in as a party without a real plan, without a real strategy on how we were going to get out or what the end game was. So we lost before it even started, in the sense that we weren't prepared.
So I'm curious about the policy versus the politics on the Democratic side, because they actually have a president that might be willing to take the heat from the right and get this done. Do you think they'll do that, even if the politics may not work in their favor?
That's going to depend, again, on whether or not Schumer decides to listen to the majority of his caucus, which is right there with the American people, and in particular, those senators that live in Trump states and who are up for re-election next year, Democrats. They want to see this issue finished because they want to be able to turn to their constituency groups and finally say they've accomplished a promise that they made a decade ago to do some of this. Or is he going to listen to the progressive wing of his caucus, which are full of a lot of presidential aspirants who want this as their issue? Right. They want to claim that Republicans are incalcitrant.
No,
so if it's Elizabeth
that's what happened
Warren,
in 2007, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's exactly what happened to George W. Bush as well, too. And it's what stands in the way. So both sides, the leadership of both sides, the president needs to stand up and lead on this. But, you know, if Chuck Schumer wants to get this done, it's easy to get, not easy, but it can get done.
All right.
It's closer than we've ever been.
All right. Kim Strassel, thank you.